Welcome to a new Assassin's Creed LP. With me today is... Exactly. I wonder what game this is. That is true. Exactly. Goodness, it's 4 Black Flag, a sequel to Assassin's Creed 3. And look at that, I've prestiged in the multiplayer, aren't I special? I will be called Abstergo. Yeah, it really does. It's very fancy. He also did the soundtrack for Iron Man 3. So it's the first time since, actually Assassin's Creed 3 was all done by Lawrence Bell, but yeah, they got a film to do the soundtrack of this game. So one thing pretty much a lot of people liked from Assassin's Creed 3 was the naval combat, and that's a big part of what this game is fighting in the ocean. The other thing people really liked was Haytham, but he's not in this game. Well, let's just say he's not in this game. Yeah, I'm just saying, he's here in spirit, yes. But yeah, the naval combat works pretty much exactly like it did in 3. Right now we are fighting some British ships. That is bracing. It is when if you see cannonballs coming in, you brace for impact and you take less damage.
The magazine! Let's go now! Douse the flames! Get in there, you mongrel!
Is it dangerous? Edward? Privateering, is it dangerous?
Wouldn't pay so nice if it weren't.
Why not sail with the King's Navy? Earn a proper wage, sail under gentlemen.
Sod the Navy's gentlemen. For every shilling I'd earn, the captain gets 600. That's no way to earn a fortune.
We don't need a fortune.
It's not about need, Caroline. I want food that don't make me sick. I want walls that hold back the wind. I want a decent life.
How long would you be gone with these privateers?
A year, I reckon. 2 at the most.
All All right. No more than 2. Promise me.
3 looked as nice as this game does. So Ubisoft get a little more fancy with this game, but Unity looks even better than this game.
Yep. Fortunately, Unity got delayed, and I'm sad about that.
When is it coming out?
The same day as Rogue,
Goodness.
which means there's going to be an overload of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So,
But this is also a very big game. There's a lot of islands, and the overworld is an ocean, so there's...
Was it good for you as well?
Havana. I must get to Havana.
Well, I'll just build us another ship, will I?
I can pay you. Isn't that the sound you pirates like best? 100 escudos.
Keep talking.
Will you or won't you?
You don't have that gold on you now, do you?
Bloody fucking pirates!
I'm on to you, Snakesby!
so this is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Yep.
For those of you who
We're
are
off
joining
to a
us straight
bad
from
start.
Revelations, you're going to notice that the gameplay is significantly different. This is mainly due to how they redid the exploration and running and marionette system in Assassin's Creed 3.
It's 100 leagues or more to Havana. Will you walk that distance?
Forgive me if I'm stepping over you, but
No problem.
it's a lot more ground-based. It's not so much focused on climbing it as it is just navigating lines in the environment. And I like it a bit more than the Ezio games for that reason.
The thing with the free running is that in the Revelations climbing system, which they used through the series before that, is that you had to use the X button a lot more for like jumping around on windows and stuff.
Yeah.
But in this game, you hold R1 for pretty much everything related to free running. So if you're running at a building and you're holding R1, then you'll automatically like glue to it.
Right.
So you don't have to press X to jump when you're climbing. R1 does pretty much everything.
Or inadvertently fling yourself into the abyss.
Yes.
That was kind of the issue with the old marionette system. But,
Right. But you still have the buttons in the top right showing you what you can do at the moment. You still have synchronization points. So don't go into this expecting like a radically different game than the Ezio trilogy. But the mechanics are quite a bit different.
Poor skid.
Yep.
Where's he running to?
right now we're in Cape Bonavista,
Yep.
which is on the, I want to say, southeastern side of Cuba.
Yep.
And I don't think it's
We
close
could
to where
work together on
Guantanamo
this.
actually is today, but it's on the other side of the island from Havana, unfortunately, so this guy is kind of straight out of luck.
Yep. And
Keep your distance!
as my says from the setting, this is the Caribbean, not a big city, so there's a lot of space between different cities, and there's only like 3 really big ones. Kingston, Jamaica, Havana, Cuba, and Nassau.
in the Bahamas.
Yeah. So there's 3 big cities. You use a ship to travel between them, which we don't have right now, but obviously we will get eventually.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of little tiny shanty towns and pirates' coves and plantations and all that fun stuff.
All sorts of stuff you find.
Yeah.
But also the fighting works a little differently because in the Ezio games you had to hold down R1 a lot to do counters and sort of back dodges. Here you can just use the regular buttons.
Senor Duncan Walpole, I accept your most generous offer and await your arrival with eagerness. If you truly possess the information we desire, we have the means to reward you handsomely. Though I will not know your face by sight, I believe I can recognize the costume made infamous by your secret order. Therefore, come to Havana in haste, and trust that you shall be welcomed as a brother. Su más humilde servidor, el gobernador Laureano Torres y Ayala.
Mr. Walpole, let's collect your reward.
Piracy.
I will put my hood on and immediately take it off.
Apparently.
That schooner'll do me just fine.
So
That taking your hood off, taking it down is another is a mechanic you don't have any control over. Edward's wandering around in a place that isn't restricted. He'll have his hood off. When he is, he'll put it on. But it's not like there's a button where you can just take your hood on and off.
Right, there was supposed to be, but they got rid of it.
And this is new.
Monkey! Kill the monkey. Craft shit.
I have no way to kill him.
I played Far Cry 3, I know how this works.
Yes, in Eagle Vision you can tag enemies, and when they have a red dot over them you can follow them through walls, and Eagle Vision just generally looks nicer.
Yeah.
Which is sort of a theme they've been going with for Assassin's Creed so far. This mechanic was in Eagle 3, where you can hide in tall grass.
Yep. Because you couldn't hide on top of things anymore because nothing in the Americas was really fucking tall. They added bushes.
Yep.
This would have saved a hell of a lot of time in Assassin's Creed Revelations, but...
Take my
Well,
sugar.
sure.
Take anything you like.
So unfortunately there's no real way to stealth this, since we need to rescue that guy. He's surrounded by British soldiers.
What's the secondary objective for this?
There is none.
Oh God.
No.
But you can do that, stealth killing from a hiding spot.
Oh, he had a musket. You could take the musket and shoot the...
Take my sugar. Take anything you like.
Well, that plan went to crap, but...
Yeah, I'm still kind of getting used to the combat here. I always hold down R1 when I'm in combat because I'm used to Revelations.
Yeah.
But R1 just makes you start running. So it's easy to disengage from combat in this game. If you really don't want to keep fighting, you can just hold R1 to run away.
Now, I guess... Actually, this is kind of a dirty trick now that I look at it. They threw 2 officers at you in this first fight. And they're immune to counter killing.
They did, didn't they?
For the most part, they are.
I'll pay you. Anything you like. By God's grace, sir, you saved me. A profusion of thanks.
Is that yours?
It is my vessel, yes. But here lies its poor captain, and I have no art for sailing.
I can pilot her myself, no mind.
You don't mean to abscond with my ship, do you?
I'm Duncan. What's your name, friend?
Steed Bonnet.
Well, Mr. Bonnet, let this stay twixt us. But I'm on a secret errand for His Majesty the King, God save him, and I must get to Havana with speed.
Oh, that is a relief, sir. Havana is also my destination. Our ways lie together.
Natural allies, then.
Ah, you put me at ease, sir. To think I took you for a pirate when you first appeared.
Did you?
Yes. You have uncommon way of handling yourself. Quick and easy, if I may say. Gave me quite a fright. But all things considered, I think it's turned out to be a rather fortuitous day, hasn't it?
People in this game story.
Yeah. Oh, you're not gonna go for the treasure.
Lucky a
Or...
rowboat, I'm afraid we'll have to swim to my ship.
Oh.
Hardly the worst
So
thing to
before
happen.
we swim out to the ship, we have another mechanic to introduce. Since this is a pirate game,
Now that's
and
good.
what all pirates like is treasure, you have treasure maps.
Yes.
So because we don't have a ship we can pilot freely, we can't really make any use of this, but we'll get around to it in good time.
That treasure map was right behind you! Literally, it's in this very map.
It was.
No, turn around.
Oh, it's not like this is the only time I can go to this place.
Yeah, no, that treasure map actually, if you're paying attention, the waterfall that you jump down to next to the bonnet to get the bonnet,
Yeah.
that's where the cave is.
Oh, wow, I didn't notice that at all.
Loose and trim too! Welcome aboard, Duncan.
It's not a particularly important one. There are better treasures out there that have actual
She'll do fine. There's a
important
strong
things
wind
in
now.
them, but that's related
Let's strike to
the
full, shall
Yeah.
we?
But before Black Flag was released, Edward was mentioned in the third part of the Tyranny of King Washington DLC. Third part of the Washington DLC starts with you sailing into New York, and
That's a
one
tough
of
way of
Connor's
seeing it.
shipmates asks him where he learned how to steer a boat so well. Connor says that his grandfather was a privateer in the West Indies by the name of Edward.
which is kind of weird, but
Those
Yeah.
sailors were quite
I mean, you
animated
never
by
really,
the idea of pirates
unless
roaming
Hatham
before us.
decided to go talk
Is
with
it a real danger, do you suppose?
what's her
A
name?
possibility. But most pirates stalk the Windward Passage between Cuba and
Well, it's
Hispaniola.
conceivable Connor could have heard of
Oh, I see.
his famous
Yes.
grandfather.
That is a bustling strait. But I shouldn't worry about
Well,
being
well, then again,
waylaid
he
by
and
pirates,
Ethan got
truth be
some
told.
time together,
My
but
ship is small, and I have
and
nothing of
the
a
naval
military
missions are all kind of
sugarcane. It's used
fucking
molasses,
crazy
rum,
in Anna.
Yeah,
They
they
should-
really are.
I was just gonna say, really, because the thing with the naval missions in 3 where you could do them at any time, but they literally, like, you could do them all at once, and they literally stretched between, like, sequence 4 and the end of the game, and any
Yes.
sequence 5 and the end of the game. So there's a lot of loopholes because the game really wasn't scripted well.
Yeah, you could have just finished the Battle of the Chesapeake Bay and then go back to 1776 and then.
Oh, hey,
post-
the whale.
Yep.
Load up the harpoon boat, boys!
Oh yes,
got
there is
blubber.
also animal hunting in this game.
You're a natural sailor, Duncan.
I did a decent trick at the helm some time ago. 2 years before the mast as a privateer.
Dash my buttons. Your life seems a grand one, if I may say. So full of adventure. How marvelous.
I've seen my share of strangeness, aye.
Fantastic work. Very promising.
Have modern day stuff to do.
Why is there a real life segment in Assassin's Creed 4?
You wouldn't think there'd be one, but there is. It works a little differently than the present day stuff we've seen so far.
All right, easy now. There you go. Welcome back. Well, your numbers look good. Now let's make sure we can break your brain, all right? I need you to move your head and look at these lights just here. Look up. That's it. Down. So far, so good. Let's get you up. So, welcome to the Sample 17 project. Before you get started, you're gonna need this. There you go. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, bonjour. C'est bon? It works? All right,
I've ever seen.
let's take a walk. Your file says you've done some memory research before, but not to this extent, which is surprising. You're very good. The data streams are very
So,
stable.
since this is Assassin's Creed 4, and you should be going into this knowing what happened at the end of 3, Desmond Miles is very dead.
Impressive, right? This building
At
is
the end of the
barely
game,
6
when you
months old,
enter the
but Abstergo
inner chamber
Entertainment
of the
has been a
Grand
studio for a few
Temple,
years.
Desmond
Since
gets a
2010.
choice between listening to Minerva or listening to Juno, and he chooses Minerva, I think.
Maybe you saw
I
it.
chose chooses Juno, and
That was
he
our
He
dies.
chose,
powered by
yeah, he
Animus.
chose to
That was
release
just the
Juno
tip
to
of the
save
iceberg.
the world.
Soon,
Desmond
we'll be
dies.
unveiling commercial
At some
Animus
point,
servers for
Oh,
the
no.
world to
Yeah,
enjoy.
there's
They'll offer
there's
passive
liberation.
experiences, of course.
But at some
edited
point,
versions of real history.
the rest of his
But only the
assassin
exciting
buddies
parts.
escaped,
And we think we found the perfect
Abstergo
subject for our
claimed
first
Desmond's
full-length
body,
virtual
which
feature.
led into
Yeah.
this game.
Caribbean Pirate.
Yeah.
So that's your gig.
But as of
It'll
this
just take a
game,
minute, okay?
Desmond is dead and Warren Vidic
I want a
is
coffee.
dead.
Stolen? We really should look. Well, thank you, Nancy. Bonjour.
Hey, that voice sounds familiar.
Huh.
C'est bon, c'était prêt.
Magnifique. Merci.
Boy,
But we
This
are,
is
our
we are
deliveries
not...
got
the
really,
primary tool of
really
our
great
trade.
once we hired
Your
the
communicator.
Assats. No,
Oh, goodness.
Power it up and give it a look. It's pretty slick.
actually, people playing Revelations might not know who that it was, so I'm not going to say a thing.
Yeah, it's possible.
Anyway, there's a
Notice that
nice.
security seems a little light around here?
She's
That's
really
because your
happy.
communicator
Your
is
boss
your
is
key
really
getting
happy
around.
because there's a nice British man making her coffee. He's a damn good barista. He seems to know a whole lot.
Right now we are inside Ubisoft's Fancy Pants Montreal headquarters.
Yes.
See that
And
flashing
it really
wireless
is
signal?
Montreal. You
We'll
can
get
look
you
you
hooked
can
up to
look
the
out
elevator.
over the
I'll let you do
skyline.
the honors.
at
We're headed up to the
various
Sample
points,
17
and
studio,
You
second
can
floor.
recognize it. Montreal's city.
Yeah.
So that's why that's also why they're speaking English and French here.
You ready? Let's go.
So, for those of you who never knew, Abstergo Entertainment was first shown in
there's the boss,
Assassin's
Olivier
Creed
Garneau, our CCO.
Liberation.
I'll introduce you. Bonjour.
Salut, Mélanie.
They were the
bien?
producers of that game.
Have you met our new hire? Just started today.
And
haven't.
they
Bonjour. What project?
Abstergo
Sample
totally isn't
17.
related to the Templars guy.
Aidan,
Guys.
Connor.
Edward, the pirate.
And here's our hip CEO character. He's not a bad dude.
Welcome aboard. Mélanie, can we talk in your office for a minute?
Was that
Just
Olivier?
let me get this one settled, and I'll
Yep.
see you in 5 minutes.
C'est bon. Nice to meet you.
So, this is the Sample 17 floor. We're diving into the memories of one very generous donor, Desmond Miles. We're pulling all the best stuff from his DNA. And hopefully one day,
But
we
yeah,
can forge some
basically,
fantastic experiences from what we
The
find in there.
in-universe thing for Abstergo Entertainment is that they say
This pair of legs is John,
Entertainment
one of the
says
wizards
it's
in IT.
related to the
He's just fixing
parent
something for
company,
you.
Not
but
fixing,
only a few
calibrating.
people are really familiar with
Calibrating,
the
right.
fact Abstergo is the Knights
So here we
Templar.
are, your very own Animus workstation.
Like,
This is all yours.
Olivier,
Sit back, relax.
I don't think
That's
so.
a shameful collection.
Yeah,
if you need any
only one
hints or
statue.
tips, the Animus is
But
loaded with
I'm pretty
tutorial
sure
programs, so you'll have
Olivier
no
has no
problems.
idea about the
And I'll
Templars.
check in on you later.
No, he
Happy
doesn't.
pirating.
I don't think Melanie does.
Hey, wait a second. What's that? It's a QR code. Why aren't you scanning the QR code?
We'll see.
What about it?
I should go give you a link to the Tumblr.
I think the idea is that you're supposed to love your job enough to put in the extra time. Don't say that so loud.
But there's all sorts of people milling about
always feel like someone's
Abstergo's
watching.
Yeah, but the floors don't
lobby
breathe.
here.
There's no ice.
It's not 30.
The new people.
Sometimes you can see little notes on the radar. Pick them up with circle, I think.
Oh boy, it's crazy time.
You can read a bunch of crazy talk.
Are we sure that Clay didn't die? Like, permanently die? That they didn't back him up somewhere? No?
It's possible.
No.
He's still... I mean, we didn't see him die. But by wandering around the headquarters, you can find sticky notes, blue sticky notes everywhere. There are 20 of them. Hey, we got Mundus Subterraneous, Assassin's Creed Forsaken, I think. All sorts of little Easter eggs around here, I should say. But sometimes the notes will show up with the radar. Usually you have to get pretty close to them. And I don't know why I just skipped that one back there. Must have been off my rocker.
This looks like a pretty nice game Dev Studio. These guys must be on the up and up. Oh boy, at least 17 sticky notes.
So obviously a crazy person has been writing these notes. And we also have a cool little employee passport, as they say. Yeah. It's actually pretty long. You can see me scrolling down, and it's quite a lengthy little document.
Yeah, you should just take screenshots.
Yeah, I'll go through it another time.
It's pretty much just the
Warren Vidic
employee orientation packet.
Yep. It was 1937 when the Templars founded Abstergo, right? I think it was. Somewhere in the backstory it says when Abstergo was founded.
Yeah. No.
Oh yes, Project Legacy was a tie-in game for Brotherhood, and you can see Aveline de Grampe is the heroine of liberation.
A full-on assassin who discovers the light with the Templar Order. That was the best ending, by the way. The interesting thing, though, is I guess technically that means Ubisoft made Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3 without Abstergo somehow. But that doesn't really make sense given some of the other stuff that shows up later. What the hell is this guy doing?
He's working on it. His name's John, Melanie said.
Yeah.
We may be seeing a little more of old John in the future.
Well, he's from IT. We'll work in a computer, an office.
That's true.
Of course shit's gonna break. Sticky Note 2. Where the hell's Sticky Note 1? It's literally...
those who came before.
So
obviously the person writing these sticky notes knows something.
Yeah, he hated the people who worked at this station before us, obviously. Or something, I don't know.
Welcome to Animus Omega, Abstergo Entertainment's proprietary ancestral memory research tool. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about how to operate your Animus console, please contact your project supervisor, Melanie LeMay. You have been registered as part of the Sample 17 project. Your primary research target is Edward James Kenway, born March 10, 1693.
I think the assassins interrupted our connection there for a second.
Wales. Calibrations complete.
Ah, fuck it. Who do I? Nah, they didn't. They're too weak for that at this point.
Extra neurotransmitters activated.
I don't think that actually means anything.
Yeah. I mean, the intro to this game is really brisk.
Lively Havana. I've been here once before. It was a truly awful pleasure.
See someone you know?
No. Just putting on a friendly face. I shouldn't want to be mistaken for a pirate again.
Right. Flash rogue like yourself must be cautious.
Yeah. Mad to think Spain and England were at war 2 years ago, isn't it? Here I am, bartering with Spaniards like they were my cousins. Something wrong, Duncan?
No, it's nothing. Sand in my hampers. So where's the best squad in town? I'm dying for a quick kip. Or a siesta, should I say.
I'm just headed to a public house now to meet some merchants. I could show you the way.
Well, lead on.
Just tried to do too much.
I hope you'll tarry a bit while I conduct my meeting.
I mean, you start during the French and Indian War with Haytham, and you follow a period of about
7 years.
Drink.
7 years.
They don't take kindly to piracy,
well,
do
let's
they?
see. The French and Indian War was in the 1740s, right?
I'm going to give you a spoiler. In between Haytham's segment and Connor's segment, the 7 Years' War took place, which is where Rogue is going to be set. So.
Oh well, didn't you infiltrate that one fort with Haytham, find Washington out in the field?
To meet them.
No, goodness no. I'm
That
a married man.
was during the French and Indian War.
Yes. Okay, so you have Haytham at the start of the French and Indian War, between Haytham and Connor.
Aha!
Yeah.
Here's a purveyor of personal defenses.
So yeah, 3 covers a period of about, I want to say, 40 or 50 years.
Yeah, roughly. You start out in 1750s and you end in 1790s once the American Revolution winds down and the Constitutional Congress goes through.
Lend us a few reals, then. I did save your skin.
Of course.
Cheers.
Oh, you can go buy things now.
Yep. The only thing we can buy is the British cutlass.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few swords in this game. Some of them are pretty pricey.
Yes.
And the Blades of Toledo are special because they're Uplay, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. The Blades of Toledo are pretty nice looking, but the best sword in the game you can't get for quite a while.
How do you fare?
Yeah.
I had only enough for a small knife, sadly. Still, it'll do in a pinch. Oh, Puffer Duff. I have led us astray, Duncan.
Oh, no matter. I'll get us a better view. What are we looking for?
A tavern, a sort of courtyard interior.
Oh yes, and they also changed the blending mechanics a little. So now you don't need a group to blend in. You can blend in with like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, I think it's 2 instead of at least like 3 or 4.
Every finger's official.
Yeah.
That's how you tell a true sailor.
Boy.
It kind of alleviates one of the problems that Revelations multiplayer had, in that if you couldn't find like a group of like 3 or 4 people, you were stuck kind of running around for a while, and that could easily give you away. But with the mechanics in this game, it's pretty easy to blend in online, at least.
I think I see the place. We're not far. Hang tight.
Go.
I can't breathe. Stop.
Tackle the pickpocket.
Yep, our first optional objective.
You know what you should do? Just tackle him, but tackle him with swords. Show him that you care.
I'm close at heel, shitbird.
But by the way, Edward is a Welshman.
Yep.
He does not sound anything like anybody who's Welsh, but... See, he was going to try to stab you anyway.
Hey, well, you just disengaged from me. You were supposed to finish that fight.
Yeah.
Now we have to do something a bit more silly and follow him.
Don't make me chase you into the harbor.
That works.
Yeah.
You robbed the wrong man, mate. A fellow with dangerous friends.
Yeah, let's see. We had to tackle him, so we didn't have to kill him, but we can only loot a dead body.
Yeah, and if you're feeling like a real jerk, you can kill people when they're knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying, because they technically could revive.
Yeah.
Enemies will actually take the time to go revive them themselves.
By Jove, you're alive.
Of course I am. That filch was no fuss.
Oh, yeah. Ah, we've arrived.
Take your time, I'll be just here.
Fancy meeting a Welshman deep in Dago country. I'm English myself. Biding my time till the next war calls me to service.
Lucky King George, having a piss pot like you flying his flag.
Oi! Skulk! I've seen your face before. You's mates with them pirates down in Nassau.
Shut your fucking gob or I'll fill it with shot, you hear me?
Edward, is it?
Hey, I warned him.
Now we have the unarmed combat.
Yeah.
Come on, lads. I've seen bigger arms on a bird.
Physics haven't gotten any less hilarious.
I've seen better throws and more realistic throws in professional wrestling.
That's low.
One more. Come on!
And you can kill street people, of course, but...
Yep.
KO street people.
It turns out the Spanish have some problems with us.
I'll catch you up!
Yes. It also turns out the Spanish have cloned themselves. And they've cloned themselves just to look just exactly like the British.
For some reason, we have smoke bombs. Well, maybe Duncan is carrying them, that makes sense.
Yes.
But yeah, you have smoke bombs introduced very early in this game.
Hey, guess what? Smoke bombs still on.
They're still as good as always. You may see a musical note on the radar that just disappeared. We'll get around to those.
In this game, unlike Assassin's Creed Revelations, not Assassin's Creed Revelations, Assassin's Creed 3, Courtesans are back, though, or the Romani, though in this game I guess technically they're dancers.
Yeah,
and
they're the same thing, basically.
Yes, but the nice thing about dancers is, if you're being chased by guards and you run past a set of them, they will latch onto the guards and tie up 2 or 3 of them. Maybe 4, if you're lucky.
And welcome to Havana, everyone.
Welcome to Havana.